Is this Newcastle's most frustrating transfer window ever? While the Magpies play their games in silence, one striker's desperate plea could change everything. You won't believe what happened behind closed doors this week. What's up, Toon Army? This is NUFC Quick News, your source for raw black and white passion. Buckle up because today's story has more twists than a Premier League relegation battle. Let's get into it. Newcastle United resume talks today with Brentford over WISSA, with the next 24 hours being absolutely crucial. This isn't just another transfer story. This is a battle of wills that could define the Magpies' entire season. Here's what the media isn't telling you. WISSA is understood to be furious with Brentford's reluctance to sell and believes he was given assurances he would be allowed to leave this summer. The 23-year-old Howe, 28-year-old has made it crystal clear he will never play for the Bees again. But here's where it gets interesting, Toon fans. Are you ready for this level of commitment from a player who's never even worn our shirt? Let's talk numbers that'll make your head spin. Craig Hope reporting that Brentford are sticking to their $50 million valuation, with some claims now suggesting their asking prices reach $60 million. That's double what they were asking just weeks ago. Newcastle won't budge beyond their reasonable offer. The club simply won't deal at those numbers because PIF would not allow it. Smart business or stubborn negotiating? You tell me in the comments below. What's your take on this price war? Is WISSA worth breaking the bank for, or should we walk away? Here's the breakthrough moment everyone's been waiting for. Brentford have agreed a deal for Dango Ouattara, who is expected to sign in the next 24 hours, effectively paving the way for WISSA's departure. Finally, the pieces are falling into place. This isn't just about one transfer. It's a complex chain reaction. Bournemouth needed Amin Adli from Bayer Leverkusen before releasing Ouattara. Brentford needed Ouattara before considering WISSA's exit. And Newcastle? They've been waiting patiently at the end of this transfer domino chain. But patience in football can be dangerous, can't it, Toon Army? What Eddie Howe really thinks. Behind the scenes, Eddie Howe is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Newcastle are looking for two strikers that would allow them to consider an Isak sale, as has been the plan all summer. WISSA isn't just a backup plan, he's part of a bigger strategy. The manager knows something we don't. With Alexander Isak looking increasingly likely to stay at Newcastle as the window develops, WISSA becomes the perfect partner, not replacement. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're loving these insider details. Let's be fair to the Bees for a minute. Having already lost Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United, Brentford are desperate not to lose all 39 league goals their sensational attacking duo contributed last season. They're not being unreasonable. They're protecting their Premier League survival. Sources suggest that in recent days the club have taken a tougher line, effectively doubling down on their demands. It's business, not personal. But that doesn't make it any less frustrating for us fans. What would you do if you were in Brentford's shoes? Hold firm or cash in? This is where the story gets emotional. WISSA does not intend to train or play for Brentford again. Think about that commitment level. This isn't a player having a tantrum. This is someone who's burning bridges for his dream move. The 20 out there and said, 28-year-old informed Brentford that he will not play for them again and wants to move to Newcastle this summer. That's the kind of passion we want at St. James's Park, isn't it? The man scored 19 Premier League goals last season, all from open play. 0 penalties, pure clinical finishing. Imagine those goals in black and white stripes. Here's something the mainstream media won't tell you. This transfer window has been about more than just buying players. It's been about changing how Newcastle operates in the market. Newcastle are ready to ditch the approach that allowed the Mark Guehi saga to drag on for so long last season and are willing to sit down and thrash out a deal. Smart clubs learn from their mistakes. Last summer's failures taught us that sometimes you have to pay the premium to get your man. The question is, have we learned that lesson with WISSA? Smash that like button if you think Newcastle should just pay what Brentford wants. We can't talk about strikers without mentioning the elephant in the room. Even if they were to bring WISSA in, they would still need another one to allow Isak to leave. The Swedish superstar situation remains unresolved, but here's the twist. Maybe that's not a bad thing. If WISSA does not happen, the chances of Isak going reduce significantly. Could missing out on WISSA actually save our season by keeping our best player? Football's funny like that, isn't it? Craig Hope from the Daily Mail has been all over this story, and his latest updates paint a picture of a club finally ready to get serious. Hope reported that talks were continuing and that the focus would be on agreeing a deal rather than incremental bids. That's the approach that gets deals done. No more messing about with lowball offers. Time to show Brentford we mean business. What do you think about Newcastle's negotiating tactics this summer? Are we finally learning how to play the transfer game? As I record this, we're in the most crucial phase of this entire saga. Newcastle United knowing next 24 hours are key as they resume talks with Brentford. This isn't just another deadline. This could determine whether we're shopping in the championship bargain bin come deadline day. The club has waited patiently for WISSA, respecting his desire to join us. But patience has limits. And the reality is that now an outcome is needed either way, with just 2 weeks to go until the transfer window closes. Let's talk real impact. WISSA isn't just about goals, he's about options. With Champions League football returning to St. James Park, we need depth that can start in Europe and challenge for Premier League points. His 19 goals last season came from a struggling Brentford side. Imagine what he could do with Newcastle's creative players feeding him chances. The numbers don't lie. This could be the signing that takes us to the next level. Drop a comment below. Is Young WISSA the missing piece in Newcastle's Champions League puzzle? Here's where I need your help, Toon Army. Should Newcastle break their financial discipline for a player who could transform our season? Or should we stick to our principles and look elsewhere? The choices we make in the next 24 hours could define our next 5 years. No pressure, right? This WISSA saga isn't just about one transfer. It's about showing the football world that Newcastle United means business. Whether we get our man or not, the way we handle these final hours will set the tone for every future negotiation. Smash that like button if you're buzzing for whatever comes next, and hit subscribe to never miss a Toon update. Drop your predictions in the comments. Will WISSA be wearing black and white stripes next week? Until next time, stay proud, stay loud, and always keep the faith. Away the lads!